Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor Templar here. We're going to talk about the sewer of information. Yes, that's right, Wikipedia. This is the most used reference source because encyclopedias were always reference sources. And this is nothing more than an online encyclopedia, which doesn't cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Now, this was a staple in American homes for many years, and any real family had an encyclopedia that they invested in and was quite a nice reference material, but it was, of course, constantly being outdated. But discoveries weren't that fast in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Even into the 70s and 80s, information was not being exchanged quickly. There was no way to do it. So you would get an update every year of a few volumes of the encyclopedia. But, you got the basic facts, what the dinosaurs were and so forth. Well, this information doesn't change all that much. Of course, there's an awful lot now that we know. So Wikipedia is very similar to have the same problem here, even though it's amazing how quickly certain Wikipedia information seems to be updated. But is updated by whom and for what purpose? Now, when you get into a lot of very standard things, the sewer of information doesn't stink as much. What is electricity? What is a car? What is sofa? Well, the sewer is not too stinky, and the information is basically okay, even though I'm sure if I was an expert in sulfur or other things, I could probably find giant holes to drive several trucks through. But, this is pretty standard. How can you lie about what sulfur is? So when we move into other areas, though, things start to it's interesting who's on Wikipedia, people who have no renown whatsoever, and other people that are well known in their industries. I don't see anybody referencing them up there. So, again, it goes as what's in popular culture. Things are up there and the information is quasi to stinky. When it comes to anything in question, let's get out of the sewer. This is totally wrong. And this is very true in parapsychology areas of research where many of the skeptics seem to be spending a lot of time on Wikipedia, going in there, changing the facts to relate to what they believe in, discrediting major players in the psychic world, bringing out negativity that is basically totally and complete fraudulent and lies, and they are putting this up on Wikipedia because they're organized. From what I understand, famous disinformation agents like Michael Aquino and all of those people from that perverse lodge of people have been going in and making many changes. But certainly the skeptic community, which is really the lowest level of humans that there are, who are made up of clown school graduates, Latin teachers, deviant dropouts of high school, and we can go on and on, convicted felons. These are the kind of skeptics out there. They're going in, changing Wikipedia when it comes to anything based on the supernormal. So the whole idea is that we need to fully understand this. They have discredited many, many people online, many noted psychics. When you start doing the real investigation into these people, you find out that the information posted there is completely and totally wrong. Or they've taken the negative aspects of a particular individual who was maybe tested or performed badly in 2% of what they were doing, and of course put that online as fact representing the entire, when it's a skewed way of looking at things. This is very, very typical. This, of course, means that any researcher who doesn't read the books, some of them which are out of print and difficult even to find, and really not cared about. Nobody cares about old psychics from the 1920s and 30s or 50s, so these books aren't even known about and certainly aren't sought after, unlike myself, who's a serious researcher who looks specifically for these rare books on rare psychics and how they were tested, etc. A prime example of this is the famous Dutch psychic who was popular in the 1950s and so forth, Crozet. This person was tested by top professionals in all of Europe, and made amazing discoveries working with police, etc. There's recorded interviews with him in all these amazing cases. And of course, like so many psychics, he wasn't too interested in being tested in kind of silly little ways with cards and other things, and was more interested in exciting healing cases. He healed many people, he solved many crimes, and gave astonishing correct information. Yet on Sewerpedia, your source of stinky garbage, he's just totally discredited. This source was then taken even by a psychic listing site as their main reference. You lazy jerks. Point is that yes, like most psychics, they have problems with certain researchers, and other ones they shine unbelievably. And in his case, he shined at many, many different universities across Europe who noted highly professional men tested him. But Sewerpedia is going to regurgitate the garbage that they do. Now, we have this same old problem with everything. Why do this happen? Well, the problem with Sewerpedia is that it allows anybody to go in there and make changes. And since you're not really known about that, when somebody at Sewerpedia has a change on a person like a psychic, they assume the information is right. But there is a huge group of these paid skeptics, these criminal frauds, to go discredit important people that could make life-changing research, life-changing abilities that they have that could be taught to the public to be independent from the slave corporations they don't want. Plain and simple. It's not complicated, people. Empowered individuals is not what anybody wants. They want murderous clones who pay taxes and kill for them. So it's as simple as that. It's not complicated. So Sewerpedia caters to that, and I'm sure shrugs off anything. They also seem to be easily infiltrated to do so many things and to put people up there who are nobodies while other people don't even have a page up there. It's interesting that as one of the main professionals in the occult sciences, there isn't a page on me up there. Well, why is that, Sewerpedia? Why? Because you have stinky, dirty facts that nobody cares about. And basically, it's such idiot information that you get correct that why even use them as a source? So it's a real problem, people, if you want any kind of opinion or information that is going to be correct instead of what the urban legend of all of us that we live in will be perpetrated by Sewerpedia. And as Sewerpedia continues to do this, it has a great disinformation factor to it. I mean, there was a recent court case where they asked someone, I believe even a judge, if Sewerpedia was a good resource, and they said they thought it was. And of course, everybody does. Why? Well, Sewerpedia should be an organization that is having ads and other things so that they can have some amount of credibility by paying a staff that is credible working for Sewerpedia and not for their own causes. We need to change this, people, but be aware that if you get into any real subject with any kind of controversy whatsoever, Sewerpedia is just that, a sewer of stinky information.